Oakland A's baseball is just an hour away.
Going back is Goodwin. He will turn and watch it fly. And the A's have taken the lead.
Swing and a miss. Tied him up inside. A slider down and in.
This is the A's Total Access pregame show on A's Cast, home to Major League Baseball's #1 podcast. Here is Chris Townsend.
Well, it is all about today. That's all we can think about. The A's have to win, and they have to win today. That's the only thing that matters. And looking at FanGraphs right now, the A's have 0.4% chance to make the postseason. So you're saying there's a chance. That's all that matters. Looking at the scoreboard, right now there's only one game in Major League Baseball. It's actually the Cardinals and the Cubs tied at 1-1 in the bottom of the third. So when you start looking at the action, when you look at Red Sox-Yankees, when you look at the Seattle Mariners, everybody is going to be going later, but yet the team in front of you is all that matters. What can the A's do against the Houston Astros? They've got 5 more chances against the Astros. What will they be able to do? It's going to be fascinating. All right, on this show today here on A's Total Access, brought to you by Francis Ford Coppola Winery, we're going to have Kendall Graveman, former Athletic. We're going to have Steve Sparks. We got a lot going on today here for the Oakland Athletics, but we're going to start with yesterday's action as the A's finally took down the took down the Houston Astros, and it was great to see because, boy, did the A's need a victory where they could get up big. Now, Altuve would start the game out in the third inning with a home run, and all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, boy, it's going to be tough. But how about Starling Marte in the third getting the A's rocking?
Swinging a smash past the diving Carlos Correa off the bat of Starling Marte. Elvis is around third. He'll score standing up, no throw home, and the A's are on the board. They trail 2-1. Marte delivers his 49th RBI. Back-to-back walks and a crisp single. The A's are threatening for more here in the third inning.
And then Matt Olson would get into the act in the third.
Runner goes again and swinging a smash into center by Olson. That'll get home a run. Lands in front of Myers. Marte continues to third base. Jay is home. It's a tie game at 2. RBI number 106 off the bat of Matt Olson. A's take advantage of the 2 walks from Brandon Bielak, and that's going to get the Astros bullpen up and working.
Matt Olson has had such an amazing career. You think about where he is going with his glove, his bat. This guy is as good as it gets. By the way, Matt Olson is trying to become just the 3rd left-handed batter in franchise history. 40 home runs. You think about that. Reggie Jackson in 1969 and Jason Giambi in 2000. 40 home runs for a left-handed hitter. What a year this guy is having. How about a little Marte Parte in the 7th inning?
Garcia readies the pitch. Swinging a smash, fair inside the third baseline. Heading toward the left field corner. It might clear the bases. Kemp is home. Gomes is home. Into third base holding. There is Harrison. Up to second base with a double. Starling Marte. And the A's have added on. They lead 5-2. Marte with his 3rd hit tonight. His 26th double. And now he has 51 RBIs on the year. And that'll be the final pitch of the night thrown by Yimi Garcia. Here comes Dusty Baker.
And we talk so much about the solo home runs. How about a pinch hit grand slam?
Bases loaded, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and here he comes with a slider hit high in the air, deep left. Back is McCormick to the track, at the wall. It's a grand slam for Chad Pinder. Chad Pinder unloads on Brooks Raley deep into the night. Harrison, Marte, and Canna wait for Pinder at home plate, and the A's have busted it open. They lead 9-2. Just the 2nd grand slam this year by the A's, and what a moment for Chad Pinder.
And the final in this one was 14-2. What a big win for the Oakland Athletics. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Steve Sparks, longtime knuckleballer, play-by-play voice of the Astros, former Athletic, will join us right here on A's Total Access, brought to you by Francis Ford Coppola Winery.
Some things just go together. Peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk, Oakland and Kaiser Permanente. If that last one caught you off guard, it shouldn't, because Kaiser Permanente has been helping keep Oakland healthy since our very beginning. And as the official healthcare partner of the Oakland A's, that won't be changing anytime soon. Whatever you may need, you can trust Kaiser Permanente to help keep you feeling your best. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Visit kp.org today.
Francis Ford Coppola Winery is home to wine, food, and adventure. Located just 90 minutes north of Oakland, we invite you to sip through award-winning wines like Diamond Collection Claret and enjoy the magic of Sonoma County in a family-friendly atmosphere known for its superior level of quality and integrity. Book a tasting and learn more at francisfordcoppolawinery.com. Please drink responsibly. 2021 Francis Ford Coppola Winery, Geyserville, Sonoma County, California.
This is Chris Townsend for my favorite golf course in the Bay Area, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club. Tucked in the beautiful hills of San Jose, Cinnabar Hills offers the finest 27 holes of championship golf in Silicon Valley. Come see the amazing new renovated clubhouse and restaurant, plus patio dining with the most breathtaking views. Cinnabar Hills is far more than a golf course, one of the premier places in the Bay Area to host weddings and any type of events. There's no golf experience like Cinnabar Hills Golf Club. Go to CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
Built to dominate the toughest of work days, Boot Barn now carries an expanded selection of Cody James Decimator work boots to support American workers in every trade. Made with durable full-grain leather, a Goodyear welt construction for longevity, a Vibram outsole for grip, and zero-gravity Cyclone insoles for all-day comfort, this is your heavy-duty work boot. Dominating functionality, Cody James Decimator boots, only at Boot Barn.
This is A's Total Access.
Well, it's always great to have Steve Sparks on the program, A's Cast Live, to talk a little A's baseball, the former A and now play-by-play voice of the Houston Astros. And we talked about being a former starter. Like, why don't these guys fight to stay in the game? He can't go five and dive. Here is Sparksy.
I think it comes down to money. And I think a lot of these pitchers realize the more I'm out there really fresh, the better my numbers are going to be. And the better my numbers are, the more money I'm going to get paid. So if I have a guy that's throwing 100 miles per hour come in after me, if I have a couple of runners on, that might help my numbers in the long run. And I think a lot of these guys are fine with that. I think that's the way it's driven, though. You know, and I don't want to knock on this game and be the old guys, but I think that's where that stems. You know, you hear stories of agents telling players about WAR, so wins above replacement, and what numbers matter most. And WAR really dictates how much a player is going to get paid and how much he's worth, you know, to a team in free agency. So a lot of times, I don't know if you knew this, but if somebody steals a base and gets a stolen base, that's a good statistic. But if he gets caught stealing, that dings his WAR more than he gets rewarded for it if he gets the stolen base. So it doesn't make sense for a lot of these guys to run if their WAR is going to suffer if they don't make it at a really high clip.
I'll tell you a guy that doesn't worry about that, Starling Marte.
Yeah, I know, and I love that.
Starling's going, and he's letting you know. He's letting everybody know, hey, I'm going.
I'll tell you this. It's the biggest reason I like the postseason the most, because statistics don't matter and you see a better team game.
See, that you know, we have asked, it's like, what is the formula to calculate WAR? What is the exact, like, no one really knows what this formula is.
Well, they do, but it's just too complicated to verbalize. I mean, you could get out there and plug all those numbers in, but it's going to take you a long time, and it's really nerdy, and who wants to do it? But there's people who can calculate those. It's out there, and that's how these guys are getting paid. They realize that, okay, there's predictors out there. If I just continue to hit the ball hard, it doesn't matter what my average is. It doesn't matter whatever. Like, my predictors say that my hard hit percentage or my barrel rate and all these guys to the right of us right here understand all of those numbers. But in the playoffs, it changes. I'm telling you, you see it. is guys play an unselfish game. It looks a lot more like the game that we were watching in the 1970s and 80s, where it's, you'll lay one down, you'll steal a base when it matters, you'll do whatever it takes to win, because those are usually one-run ball games and the little things matter.
It's sad, but it's an excellent point. And I can't wait to kind of like focus on that, because it's hard for me to believe that these guys truly know everything about their analytics, but I understand that's how you get paid. I mean, this is a business, and you're trying to take care of your family.
Yep.
I think for you, like when you were warming up in the bullpen, what were your thoughts about that start? I'm sure it just wasn't 5 innings, 5 and dive.
No. Mine was to complete the game. I felt like as a knuckleball pitcher, that was my niche on that team is, I'm not going to have the best ERA, because there's going to be days where I'm going to walk 7 and strike out 5 or whatever it is, but I'm going to go out there and make everybody else's starts in the rotation a little bit better, because I kept the bullpen more fresh, because I went 7, 8, 9 innings quite a bit, because I could throw more pitches.
We're talking about potentially expansion going on. Baseball wants to go to 32 teams, and obviously they got to get the A's healthy, they got to get the Rays healthy, but I'm thinking 32 teams. Is there enough arms in baseball?
There's enough arms. There's just not enough strike throwers. So a lot of these arms are rushed to the major leagues because they can accumulate so much swing and miss. And that's what everybody's kind of figured out in these front offices, is that swing and miss takes the chance out. You're not rolling the dice by somebody putting the ball in play if you can strike them out. And if you walk them from time to time, so be it. But they'll take their chances by the strikeouts. The Astros in 2015 won the wild card against the New York Yankees. Then they faced the Royals, and they refused to strike out. And the Astros couldn't get them out. They were just, I think it was 4 outs away from going to the championship series, and that was the year that the Royals went all the way. But they just kept putting it in play, and the Astros, it was 2 or 3 inches away from Correa or Altuve. Is this everything? There's just too much chance, and the Astros realized we don't have enough pitchers in our bullpen to get swing and miss. We've got to get guys who can strike people out, because we cannot continue to roll the dice and rely that our defensive positioning is going to be perfect every time.
Yeah, everybody coming out of the pen these days looks like they're throwing 98,
That's
99
why.
to 100, and
That's
it is
exactly
what it
why.
is.
They're out there to strike them out.
So, do you think we'll ever see a chance for a knuckleballer again?
Yes. So Bob Melvin 2 years ago in Houston tossed me a baseball. And he goes, "You think you could throw a knuckleball with this?" I said, "No." This is before the game, after his little media session. I said, "No." And I didn't realize. He gave me a game ball, and it was hard as a rock. It was just like a cue ball. It was slick. It was hard. Nothing to be able to dig your fingernails into. And that's why the ball was flying out of the ballpark, all that stuff. But the major leagues went to that opposite end of the spectrum to get the ball flying out of the ballparks to score more runs. But because of that, there was no way somebody could throw a knuckleball. There's no way that you could grip it consistently enough.
Because you can't dig your fingernails into it?
Can't dig your fingernails into it and even get a grip. It's just like a cue ball almost. So I know just by grabbing a ball here every once in a while I know that they've softened the ball, and we're not seeing the ball, go out of the ballpark like we did 2 years ago, let alone last year. And I think there will be a comeback at some point. I mean, it's just different. Everybody's looking for variety in something different. Right now it's the spin. Everybody wants to see somebody with unordinary spin, whether it's the fastball, the curve, the slider, or something unique about the way they throw the ball, and they want to take advantage of that. And I think that the knuckleball plays into that. I think somebody will get back into the big leagues and have some success, and then we'll see a lot more teams follow.
Steve is always fascinating. When he's on, makes you think. To hear the entire interview, you go to athletics.com/A'sCast. Up next, the voice of summer, Ken Korach, will join us right here on A's Total Access.
Hey A's fans, summer is finally here, and that means home improvement projects. Still thinking about replacing your old windows? Consider beautiful, energy-efficient windows from Milgard. Let our team of experts help you turn your house into your dream home. Explore the door and window showrooms at Ashby Lumber in Berkeley and Concord today. Use code word A'sFan and receive a special discount on your beautiful, energy-efficient windows and patio doors by Milgard at Ashby Lumber. Learn more at ashbylumber.com or visit our stores in Berkeley and Concord. Ashby Lumber, for all your building and remodeling needs.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is a national brand with family-owned prices and service. You can shop at one of their Barrier locations, and all stores are sanitized and safe, or you can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Tired of searching for sports updates in different places? The Xfinity Sports Zone gives you the ultimate sports hub experience, where you can find games, news, and highlights all in one place right on your TV. Follow the teams you love across your favorite sports. You can even use the voice remote to access stats and scores. With the Xfinity Sports Zone, everybody wins. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store for details. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity TV service with X1.
At Lowe's, we believe fashion and function should live together, especially when it comes to flooring. That's why we put together a showroom with the top stylish brands like Bruce Hardwood, SmartCore Luxury Vinyl, and Satori Tile, all known for their reliable durability. See everything our showroom has in store for you. Order now and get it installed with help from Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Install available in-store only and through independent contractors. See Lowe's.com for details and licensing. U.S. only.
A's Cast is your home for non-stop A's baseball.
The 3-2 pitch is swung on a high fly ball. Left field, Yastrzemski back at the track to the wall. He'll watch it fly. And they've done it again in the ninth inning.
Out on the run is Liriano, and he makes the catch. An amazing catch. Sails the throw back to first base, and this is in time on the fly from Ramon Liriano.
This is A's Total Access with Chris Townsend.
And it's brought to you by Francis Ford Coppola Winery. Ken Korak, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Townsend. I really enjoyed your piece with Steve Sparks.
He is so good, and the perspective that he brings. And, you know, just to see him and have him come down basically on our set, and when we see other broadcasters, because it's been almost 2 years, it's just so nice to see people.
It is. It's great to see them traveling. And, you know, there's a couple things about Steve. Number one is, as a former player, he still does his homework. And, I think it's great having ex-players in the booth like Fossey and Dallas. And, you know, one thing about those guys and also Steve, they don't feel just because they played, they can show up and not prepare. And Steve and Ray and Dallas, I think, share that in common, that, you know, they work really hard preparing for the games. And I have a lot of respect for that. The other thing is, and Steve was talking about the knuckleball, and he had an important part to play in athletics postseason history in a game that eventually was disappointing for the A's in 2003 against the Red Sox. But he really gave the Athletics coming in out of the bullpen a chance to win that game. And, you know, that was kind of unforgettable to see what he did at Fenway Park that day.
0.4%, Ken. So you're saying there's a chance.
Well, if the A's run the table, I mean, the math is pretty simple. If they were to, first of all, let's preface, there are 17 teams around baseball right now who have no chance, right? So at least, you know, there's something to talk about, right? The other thing is, if the A's were to run the table and win the last 8 games, then the Yankees, if they were to go 4-4, now they'd be tied, and that doesn't actually take into account what the Mariners and the Blue Jays might do as well. So, yeah, you just keep playing. It was a fun night last night. They played really well. And Bob Melvin and the guys in this club just have too much pride right now just to lay down, I think, especially against the Astros, Chris. I mean, this is a club that the A's really want to beat.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think if you take care of your business against the Astros and Tampa helps you out against the Astros, technically the division is still in play.
Well, they'd have to go 0-8, and the A's would have to go 8-0. Right?
Yeah, I mean, but
that's
it's
literally the truth. Yeah, that's right. But I said this on the air last night, that they wouldn't be writing books or producing movies about sports if there weren't things that were just completely out of the blue, right? If everything just played out the way it was supposed to and it was all mundane, then you wouldn't have baseball movies. So that's why you play the games, because you just never know when something crazy is going to happen.
You know, there was a group of us yesterday in the press box just talking about A's baseball and the future of A's baseball. And Starling Marte came up. And we know that Starling probably won't be here beyond this season. But just talk about what a treat it has been to watch him play. And the way, especially he's been playing at home, he's been incredible.
And all the guys that the A's have acquired, too, have made an impact with Starling and Harrison and Jan Gomes and Andrew Chafin. But, yeah, I mean, it's great to watch him, and we didn't know how good he was. We knew he was a good player. We didn't know he was this good. And he has a tremendous impact on the game. And, you know, if the A's still had Laureano, and I really think they miss Ramon. Can you imagine how dynamic their club would be? And now, I mean, you can't go back and change history. He got suspended, and those are the rules. But, I mean, they would really have a dynamic club. So we'll see where he lands next year. But all that being said, I'm so encouraged by what's happened with Frankie Montas, Chris, and with Bassett the way he's pitched, and Manaea going for his 11th win today, and Cole Irvin and Caprillion. I don't know what the A's are going to do as far as their ball club and their roster next year, but there is still a very good core of players in place on this team. There's really no reason why the A's couldn't contend next year.
Yeah, and you think about Sean Manaea, it's kind of like the relay team where you pass the baton to the next guy. It's now Sean Manaea's turn.
It really is, and, you know, he's going for his 11th win, and his last two starts haven't been great, so I know he'd like to bounce back from that. But now, Frankie, the thing that, to me, one of the things that defines being an Ace is how you pitch against the best teams. Frankie has done some of his best work this year against some of the best teams.
There's no doubt. There's something, you know, like we talked to Scott Emerson on A's Cast Live that, you know, the arm has always been there. The velocity has always been there. It's now a mental thing for Frankie Montas that he's turned himself. And what have you seen turning himself into a different pitcher?
Well, as Vince has mentioned, and we talked on the broadcast last night, when you can throw 97, 98, Chris, and then you have a devastating split finger pitch that looks like a fastball coming out of your hands, and especially if you throw strikes, if you can establish early in the count strikes and you're pitching ahead and the hitter's thinking about, I might get 98, and then the splitter disappears down in the dirt, I mean, you become a really tough customer out there on the hill.
You know, you think about the next 2 days, the last two home games of the season. Isn't it hard to believe that we're at that point, the finality of the year, especially after last year, only 60 games? This season went really quick.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing, too, is that we're just not used to looking at game 162 with finality, like you said, because the A's have been in the postseason so many times. So that's going to be a little unusual to kind of know where you're going, unless the A's pull a miracle here, Chris. Because normally we're thinking, well, maybe they'll go here, or maybe they'll play somewhere else, or maybe they'll stay at home. So, you know, that is different. But it's great to have fans at the ballpark. And after, you know, the crowds were smallish, let's say, for the Seattle series, the energy at the ballpark last night was great, Chris. And I know the ball players really felt it.
Well, great stuff, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Okay, buddy.
Ken Korak, the voice of summer, the voice of your Oakland Athletics. Coming up next, we got our minor league report with Vince Cotroneo right here on A's Total Access, brought to you by Francis Ford Coppola Winery.
Tired of searching for sports updates in different places? The Xfinity Sports Zone gives you the ultimate sports hub experience, where you can find games, news, and highlights all in one place right on your TV. Follow the teams you love across your favorite sports. You can even use the voice remote to access stats and scores. With the Xfinity Sports Zone, everybody wins. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store for details. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity TV service with X1.
In London, it's 10 p.m. Wednesday. In Singapore, it's 5 a.m. Thursday. And in San Francisco, it's 2 p.m. Wednesday. We call that Ring Central Time. Time for teams, customers, and partners to connect online for a real-time work session. Ring Central is the leading cloud solution for today's distributed workforce, integrating voice, video, online meetings, and team messaging into one experience. It's time to work the way you want. It's Ring Central Time. For a free trial, visit ringcentral.com.
Ring Central. Communicate, collaborate, connect.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
You're listening to the A's Total Access Show.
A's winding down their regular season as they take on the Astros Game 2 of their 3-game series. Always on a Saturday, our minor league report. And so happy to be joined by Tommy Everidge, one of the hitting coaches at AAA Las Vegas, in town this week with the ball club. Of course, played for the A's briefly in 2009, the pride of Sonoma State. And Tommy, just what has this week been like for you? Just getting more exposure to watching the routines and guys at this level and trying to bring that back to the players and remind them the things that need to be done to get you where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. I got to come up earlier in the year, and that was awesome to see the routine, see how they go about it, and then to come back and see how maybe they've changed or just the professionalism that is a little different than the minor leagues. And, that's my job, is to prepare them here, and so I get to see what they do and go back and keep helping the younger guys.
Tommy, at Las Vegas, with all the numbers that really jump off the page, sometimes because of the conditions there in Las Vegas, what do you specifically look for? Like with pitchers, we want to make sure we get ahead of hitters. We want to reduce walks, even though your ERA is not going to be where you want it to be. On the hitting side, what are you trying to convince the players to do in terms of routine and in terms of performance?
Just reminding them that they're preparing to compete in a game. Sometimes we try and win the cage, and our focus is so on our swing, we forget that we're preparing to compete. So, we talk pitch selection and not missing our pitch. I think a lot of at-bats end up negatively when the pitch you want to hit, you foul off because maybe you weren't ready. So we focus on that and pitch selection, and a lot of the numbers clean up. I mean, we had some monster years, and, you could say Vegas, the ballpark, these guys were doing big things this year, and I was most proud we were low in strikeouts, and so that was, hey, we're doing the right thing.
Tommy, there's been so much focus on Nick Allen with what he accomplished. He started at AA, joined Team USA, was the starting shortstop as they won the silver medal, and then came to your club in Las Vegas and got off to a challenging start offensively. But he's moving up a level. I mean, there's probably some expectation that there was going to be adjustments that had to be made. What are you seeing from Nick's game offensively?
Well, Nicky's unbelievably talented, and he's a grinder, and he's always trying to improve, and so it didn't look too much into, his struggles when he started. I mean, the guy went to Japan, he went to the qualifiers, he was in Midland, it's his first time in AAA, that's an adjustment. And then, he's doing so good. He's like, maybe I can go to the big leagues tomorrow, and we all have to go through that. And he's been hitting really well his last week, and that's the adjustments. That's what you need to do, and he's doing it.
Some of the players down there that have spent the whole season there, let's say like a Cody Thomas, who's had some moments. You mentioned big years. I mean, how about Carlos Perez with 30 home runs for a veteran catcher who's had some big league time, but certainly making the most of that opportunity. What are you seeing from players like that as they try to continue to put themselves in a position to help somebody on the major league level?
Those guys are just professionals. Cody goes about it. His routine is good. He remembers what he needs to do, and then the numbers don't lie. And, that's what we try and tell them. If you guys can be consistent, the numbers fall in place. And that Carlos has been consistent the whole year. A bunch of players. We had 3 catchers with 20 homers. So it's like, they're feeding off each other, and they're continuing to get better, and they didn't waste ABs.
What do you explain to the players that they are certainly knocking on the door at AAA and they're just one phone call away? And as we've seen this year, the A's have made that phone call on multiple occasions, bringing players up from the Las Vegas club, but also what the gap is between what they're facing with the AAA pitching and what they're about to maybe for the first time face on the major league level.
Well, just tell the guys, hey, put up numbers, and then that'll give you an opportunity. And it doesn't matter if it's here or another team. Dykeman goes to the Cubs, we get Chafin. It's all about helping the big league club and just reminding them to just do what they need to do, and it'll fall in place, and try and explain the adjustments they're going to need. And it's just one of those things that until you experience it, you don't quite grasp, and, just preparing them for those adjustments.
Tommy, your story resonates so much because you spent a lot of time working your way up in the A's system. You got that chance in 2009, but there was a time where you had a great year at AA, and next thing you know, you're going back to AA again. You've experienced maybe some of the frustrations of why are they not looking at me, when in fact you have to just kind of internalize those things. How do you explain those stories to the players at AAA and remind them that you just continue to do the work and people are paying attention?
Yeah, I just share my story, and they'll go, yeah, see, that's happening to me. And I go, yeah, well, you have two choices. You can either complain about it and not do what you need to do, or you can just keep going. And you never know when your opportunity is going to come, and that's where it's like you need to be playing well to take advantage of opportunities. So I tell them, be prepared and do your thing so you don't miss an opportunity,
You got an opportunity at Fenway Park. That was where you made your Major League debut for the A's in 2009, and your last at-bat of that particular first game was quite an at-bat against Jonathan Papelbon, a double of drives and a run. The A's rally and eventually play an extra innings in that contest. You take that with you every day, I would imagine, as you come on the field and thankful for what this game has given Tommy Everidge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that moment is huge, and it's one of those ones, I share, you're trying to do good your first game, and, it's like, what do you have to lose? Just trust yourself and do what you do. And I got some success. I hit a double. And, I think about that now. It's like all that really led me to coaching. And I'm very grateful because now my success is dependent on me helping others, and that's never a bad gig.
It wasn't Little League, but it's a kid from Sonoma against a kid from Vallejo when you hit a home run against CC Sabathia. That's a great memory to have as well, and probably one if you get a chance to cross paths time and time again. Just a reminder to CC, hey, I got you one time in the big leagues.
I'll just say hi. Yeah, no, that was crazy because when I initially started the swing, I was like, oh, this ball is way too up. Just finish it. And next thing you know, it's a homer. I was like, yeah, I meant to do it.
How much fun are you having coaching?
Oh, a ton. It's just the best, to see guys reach their goals or their dreams, and that was fun at the AAA level. It's like you want these guys to get to the big leagues and guys debut. And it's just the greatest feeling in the world because you know how much it meant to you, and you want everyone to feel that.
Tommy, we rooted for you back then. We root for you now in the coaching profession. Wish you all the best, and thanks for the time today.
Thank you.
Tommy Everidge joining us, hitting coach for the Las Vegas Aviators, and been with the big league club here for the past week, joining us for our minor league report.
Hey, A's fans, want to get away? Southwest Airlines has you covered. Southwest Airlines offers direct flights from Oakland to Hawaii, where you can catch some rays, ride the waves, or relax on the beach. Not a Rapid Rewards member? Sign up for free today to earn points when you fly. Learn more at southwest.com. Southwest Airlines, an official partner of the Oakland A's.
You hear that? It's not just another sound effect. It's the sound of your life changing. Unfold your world with Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 5G. A world where your phone is a tablet, and a tablet is pocket-sized. Where you get two screens in one, and you get more done. Where you can really have it all in the palm of your hand. A world where all eyes are on you, and you show everyone how to live this life. Get the new Galaxy Z Fold 3 5G at Samsung.com. 5G connection and availability may vary. Check with carrier.
How many of you have pets? My hand's raised. Now think about how lucky you are to have such a sweet little pet in your life, and that pet is lucky to have you too. But unfortunately, there are countless pets out there that don't have a home to call their own. However, Bob's from Skechers is trying to change that. So we developed Bob's for dogs and cats to help pets in need. With every purchase of adorable Bob's footwear or fun, stylish apparel, or even the cutest Bob's pet accessories, Skechers makes a donation to Petco Love to help save shelter pets. And with your help, we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets and raised over $7 million. So while you're getting style and comfort with features like Skechers' famous memory foam cushioning, you're also helping to save an adorable pet in need and helping another lucky owner be connected with a future best friend and companion, because happiness is having a loving pet by your side. Find Bob's at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, select Petco locations, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Swung on, driven to left center field. Buxton going back to the track. He's right to the wall. He will watch it fly. And Laureano gets the A's on the board with a 3-run home run.
A's Cast is your 24/7 destination for A's baseball. Visit athletics.com/A's Cast for on-demand and live coverage of the Oakland A's. Now back to A's Total Access with Chris Townsend.
And it's now time for the injury report, and Jay Hay hit it all over his leg yesterday. Wow, that looked painful, but Bob Melvin, he's in the lineup today.
Yeah, his calf's bothering him a little bit. The shin, bottom of the knees all bothering him some, but guys like him are gonna go out there and play, and there's a lot at stake. So you appreciate that. You admire the fact that he's able to play with some pain, and he'll be back out there today.
And that is the injury report brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. Remind you to stay safe, stay positive, and stay healthy. Visit kp.org today. Up next, former A. Kendall Graveman right here on A's Total Access, brought to you by Francis Ford Coppola Winery.
In London, it's 10 p.m. Wednesday. In Singapore, it's 5 a.m. Thursday. And in San Francisco, it's 2 p.m. Wednesday. We call that Ring Central Time. Time for teams, customers, and partners to connect online for a real-time work session. Ring Central is the leading cloud solution for today's distributed workforce, integrating voice, video, online meetings, and team messaging into one experience. It's time to work the way you want. It's Ring Central Time. For a free trial, visit ringcentral.com.
Ring Central. Communicate, collaborate, connect.
This is Chris Townsend for the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. Great news! Our indoor dining is back, along with our beautiful patio dining. Come taste our world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 83 years. The Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek has one of the most dynamic menus, plus a full bar. Pot pies, gourmet burgers, sandwiches, salads, flatbreads, and more. Don't forget, we still do takeout and delivery. For all the information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
This is A's Total Access.
Well, earlier today we caught up with our old friend Kendall Graveman, now with the Houston Astros, former Athletic. He's such a super guy. And we talked to him about going from a starter to now a closer. What has that been like in his career?
Yeah, I just commend the Oakland organization for allowing me to grow and learn and establish myself in the big leagues at such a young age. To me, it felt like I was just a kid when I was over in Oakland and pitching and starting on opening days. And I still remember those some of the fondest memories of my career is being over there and continuing to try to learn how to pitch in the big leagues. But I think one thing I always wanted to do was continue to gain velocity. And the off seasons I spent, and even when I had Tommy John surgery, that was one of the goals of mine, because I started seeing across the league how velocity really plays, and was able to put in a lot of work and time to do that and gain velocity. I'm not the same pitcher I was, and also learning how to spin the baseball, which I didn't do very well as a starter. Survived on really a sinker and a cutter and occasional changeup, and now being able to throw a slider and an actual curveball is something that's changed. But I think the biggest difference is being ready every day to compete in a baseball game and try to go get 3 outs when my name's called.
What was that difference like for you, though? I mean, going from a starter to a reliever, was that a tough transition? What was that like for you?
I think it fits my personality a little bit. It was pretty easy. I enjoy being able to show up each day and knowing I may be able to pitch in a baseball game. And as a starter, you well know that there's 4 days in between there that you're not playing in a baseball game. It can be over a long season a little bit boring on some days. So at least this is going to keep me on my toes. And for me, making that transition was a good one for me. I know not everyone's built to pitch out of the bullpen. Some guys love starting, but I just love competing, and at the end of the day, I want to be able to compete in baseball games. So I think that's huge.
I think your buddy Chris Bassett, I figured that had to be very emotional for you. It was emotional for all of us to see Chris back on the mound after what he went through in Chicago. What was that like? I don't know if you got to actually watch it, but to know that, a guy that means a lot to you got to be back on the mound after what he went through. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I was super proud of Chris, somebody that's been a friend of mine and will always be a friend of mine, and helped me through plenty of tough times in my career and when I was going through surgery. And, man, I commend Chris for what he's done and the path that he's taken in his career. I mean, there was times where he was bouncing up and down from AAA to the big leagues for a couple of years, it felt like. And I knew he had it in him, and then to see him at the All-Star game this year was special for me to watch. And then I told him yesterday I was proud of him and glad to see him back out there. And I told him it was like riding a tricycle. So just get back out there and continue to pitch and throw the ball well, like I know he will. And it's just a friend, man, before anything and that he does in baseball. I always want health and safety first for him. So it was tough for him, but I was praying for him and had him on my mind a lot and texted him a few times just to make sure, and he still had his sense of humor. So I knew he was going to be okay.
Yeah, you go through something like that, and we had Chris on the show yesterday talking about, it's very rare that you see EMTs actually come out onto the field, and that's when it really is serious. And I think about your guys' relationship and how he helped you get through where you were coming through Tommy John surgery, and to help you. Just talk about the friendship and what that means to you as he helped you get through one of the darkest times through your career.
Yeah, like I said before, as many times going through Tommy John surgery, you're really searching, like, am I ever going to pitch again? How's it supposed to feel? Oh my gosh, I might have tore my ligament again. And for me, those days are tough mentally on you. And for him to be able to, just to get me through those days, man, that's a friendship and a bond, like I said before, that you create in this clubhouse and you creating amongst guys, even though I wasn't on the same team at that time, that we can stay connected and compete against each other and still compete and want to win. But at the same time, in the same breath, like I want to off the field help anybody that I've played with. And Chris is the same way. So I think for me, that's huge testament to who he is as a person. And as his family grows and continues to grow, he's a great father too and a great teammate. And I can't say enough about Chris and the enjoyment I had playing with him.
Let's end on this. Obviously the Astros, I mean, like you heard last night, the boos are still out there. We know how A's fans feel about the Astros. What did you learn about Houston when you showed up there? You get traded there. You've competed against these guys. Now you're in that clubhouse. What have you learned about the Astros and that clubhouse that maybe a lot of us outside don't know?
I've learned that through difficult times, it brings people together. And through that period of time, even though there's a handful of guys only left on that team, then that are here now, there's still a willingness to win. I know it wears on the guys the amount of stuff that they've been through. And I just told them when I got here, man, I'm not into the business of wanting to know what went on. I told them from the beginning that I'm here to move forward and to look ahead. And I never want to know what went on in the past. I'm not interested in knowing details or anything like that. So for me, there's a forgiveness in my heart for people that make mistakes, and that's not the Astros. It's anybody in life. And I feel that for me, there's a freedom in coming over here to compete with these guys now, and how they've handled the situation. I thought they've done a good job. Even now, as they continue to get a little bit more heckling than most people do, they still act with class and continue to hold themselves accountable in a way that they may not have if they would want to win through some situations like that. So I'm really proud of the guys in this clubhouse and how they've handled it. And just the closeness that it brings. Once again, I keep talking about that, but it's so many times that you go through difficult situations and it brings places. So love these guys over here, and been in the AL West for a long time, so I kind of have an understanding of everybody.
To hear the entire interview, you go to athletics.com/A'sCast. Up next is the Bob Melvin Show with Ken Korak right here on A's Total Access, brought to you by Francis Ford Coppola Winery.
In London, it's 10 p.m. Wednesday. In Singapore, it's 5 a.m. Thursday. And in San Francisco, it's 2 p.m. Wednesday. We call that Ring Central Time. Time for teams, customers, and partners to connect online for a real-time work session. Ring Central is the leading cloud solution for today's distributed workforce, integrating voice, video, online meetings, and team messaging into one experience. It's time to work the way you want. It's Ring Central time. For a free trial, visit ringcentral.com.
Ring Central. Communicate, collaborate, connect.
At the Honda Summer Sales Event, one summer adventure leads to another. Start with a great offer on a new Honda, and be on your way to remote beach weekends, deep forest discoveries, and sunsets next to a campfire that you built yourself. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% APR on the 2021 Honda CR-V, Ridgeline, or the all-new 2022 Civic.
Exclude Civic Type R. See dealer for financing details.
Driven, determined, resilient. Cal State East Bay students are today's creative thinkers and tomorrow's workforce for the region. Cal State East Bay is recognized as one of the most transformative college experiences nationwide, educating the new generation that questions the status quo and works together to find meaningful solutions. Apply today for our degree and certificate programs. We are not just a university, we are a community. Find yourself here at csueastbay.edu.
Francis Ford Coppola Winery is home to wine, food, and adventure. Located just 90 minutes north of Oakland, we invite you to sip through award-winning wines like Diamond Collection Claret and enjoy the magic of Sonoma County in a family-friendly atmosphere known for its superior level of quality and integrity. Book a tasting and learn more at francisfordcoppolawinery.com. Please drink responsibly. 2021 Francis Ford Coppola Winery, Geyserville, Sonoma County, California.
Tired of searching for sports updates in different places? The Xfinity Sports Zone gives you the ultimate sports hub experience, where you can find games, news, and highlights all in one place right on your TV. Follow the teams you love across your favorite sports. You can even use the voice remote to access stats and scores. With the Xfinity Sports Zone, everybody wins. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store for details. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity TV service with X1.
It's so sticky.
At Hannah's Organic Honey, business may be sweet, but they need an e-commerce queen bee to lead the hive.
Okay, these jars are going to Jakarta. Oh, wait a minute. Does that say Jackson?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is A's Total Access.
On a Saturday at the Coliseum, it's Game 2, the A's and the Astros. And Bob, a great win last night. And again, Frankie Montas comes up big. And Bob, I mean, his evolution to become an ace right now has been something special to see.
Yeah, and in a game that we absolutely had to have. So, couple all of that and everything else involved with what he's done, the pressure in him in that game and standing up for us against maybe the best hitting team in the American League, going as deep as he did and giving us the entire seventh inning and a last at bat that was very crucial. And what can you say? He gets over 200 strikeouts, all the above. I mean, just ends up being a terrific season for him, and I don't think he's done yet.
But what can you say about the mental aspect or his determination, Bob? Because it's not just that he's winning games, but you look at August, those back-to-back games against the Giants and the Yankees, and then the Astros last night.
Right. He's some of the best lineups he's making look, meager. So it's not easy to do, especially this time of the season as well, and in a game we had to have. So he just continues to get better and better. I think each one of these outings gives him more confidence that he is that guy. Whether he likes it or not, we were leaning on him pretty hard, and he came up big for us.
Pretty big pinch hit shot by Chad Pinder last night.
Yeah, it made it look like, you look at the final score, and it certainly was not indicative of how that game went last night. It was a nail-biter all the way. In the seventh inning, a huge at-bat with Altuve, and then we ended up breaking it open and got a little distance, and you would think that was a game that was in hand right away, but it was not.
How much? Because they had the lefty Raley in the game. He had to face Pinder because he'd only faced two batters before Chad. As you look back on that rule now, Bob, the three-batter rule, has it had a lot of impact on your strategy?
It has. We like to match up a lot here. So, I think around the league now you're seeing more pinch hit success because of the fact that you're going to get a matchup, especially when teams bring in left-handers. So we've seen it happen against us too. It also affects how you use your, if you're going to use somebody besides your closer in the ninth inning. If it's a 4 or 5 run game, you have to sit there and wear it for 3 batters, where in the past, if you felt any trouble, you come out after one guy. So it hasn't had an impact on this game.
He has also pinned or tied at Oakland, actually a franchise record, with his 5th pinch hit home run. Is there now, I know you get him into good matchups, Bob. Is there something also about his preparation?
I think he knows the drill by now, and I didn't even have to tell him he was hitting that situation. Once Riley came in, he knew Brown was his guy, and he had his helmet and his bat, and he was standing next to me before we even had to summon him. So he knows the drill around here. He's one of the best we've ever had at it, and for a guy that probably could play a little bit more than he does, he's a team guy. He knows that we're trying to get our best matchups all the time, and he makes you look good coming off the bench.
This, of course, is not apropos, I guess, to your club, but as a former catcher, late in the game, Martin Maldonado looked like he got a foul tip right on his knuckle. How many times did that happen to you? And does the pain go away, or do you live with it for the rest of the game?
Had I not had anybody but Gomes on first base, I might have run right away, because that sticks with you for a little while. The fact that he's in there again today is remarkable. He's a very durable guy. He's obviously a tough guy. I think the reason it got him on the hand is he was coming up to pick at third. And sometimes, you can protect your hand a little bit by either behind your glove or behind your leg. I think when he was coming up to make the pick, they exposed the hand, and therefore you had the injury. But you can't help but look at him and say that this guy's a horse back there, and you're not surprised that he stayed in the game.
Are your hands in pretty good shape after all the years you caught?
I'm showing you my hands right now, so that a short answer would be no.
All right, and that's the Bo Mel Show for today. And Chris Townsend will send things back down to you.
We got game 2 of the 3-game set between the Athletics and the Astros next, right here on A's Cast and the A's Radio Network. And I'll talk to you after the ball game.
You and Buddy are enjoying your walk when...
Yeah, I smell that too. I know, don't blame it on the dog. I hear that hissing too. Maybe it's a cat.
No, dude. A sulfur-like odor and hissing can be signs of a natural gas leak. Natural gas lines can be buried anywhere. If you suspect a leak, leave immediately and call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Thanks, deep voice narrator.
You're welcome, dude. You too, buddy.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at usps.com/careers.
Hey A's fans, summer is finally here, and that means home improvement projects. Still thinking about replacing your old windows? Consider beautiful, energy-efficient windows from Milgard. Let our team of experts help you turn your house into your dream home. Explore the door and window showrooms at Ashby Lumber in Berkeley and Concord today. Use code word A'sFan and receive a special discount on your beautiful, energy-efficient windows and patio doors by Milgard at Ashby Lumber. Learn more at ashbylumber.com or visit our stores in Berkeley and Concord. Ashby Lumber, for all your building and remodeling needs.
Is your career taking you where you want to go? With Saia LTL Freight's best-in-class benefits, signing bonuses, and competitive pay, it's easy to see why we have the longest tenure in the industry. So whether it's cross-country travel, being home nights and weekends, or working from the terminal, we've got a career for you. Drive your future forward. Visit workatsaia.com. That's workatsaia.com.
A's Cast, streaming on iHeartRadio and broadcasting locally on Bloomberg 960, KNEW Oakland, and KOSF 103.7 FM HD2 San Francisco.